nice hose. So listen, welcome again to HSN. My name is Bobby Ray Carter. Another amazing item from Bell & Howell. You know, I talked about that a little earlier. Bell & Howell, 120...
No, 116.
116. They're almost 120 years. But okay, this is the hassle we have with other hoses that are out there, right? They kink, when you're trying to use them, like they shut off, you gotta go out, you gotta unhose them, they get that bend in them, if they're even slightly moved. Well, enter the Bell & Howell HydroSteel Heavy Duty Amazing Hose. And let me just tell you right off the bat, first and foremost, this hose is unique because it has multiple layers inside, which Lou, in his fabulous geekness that we love, is gonna tell us a lot more about. It actually has like a heavy duty, like stainless steel middle layer to it. But let me just tell you what we did today. They were marked down, and then right before the show, we took every one of the sizes down another $10, which is off the charts. Do you know you can still get water out of it like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll still, right, you will not cut the flow at all. And the flow on this, the power of the flow, oh yeah. So let me tell you.
What did you do to the prices?
I know, well I was just trying to tell you, because I got here, they were marked down yesterday, and then right before the show, they took every single one of them down another $10. All right, so we'll try to let you know what we have. The 50-foot hose. And by the way, let me just say this to you. You will never have to buy another hose as long as you live. $39.95 for the 50-foot. The 75-foot is $59.95 today. The 100 is $69.95.
Crazy.
125-foot hose. We marked down again to only $79.95. So they're all basically like $20 off, which is insane.
It's nuts.
Insane.
And I'm gonna say something. It's a bold statement. This is the best hose I've ever owned. Okay?
Wait a minute. That is saying a lot.
Isn't it?
Yeah, for you.
Because I've owned a lot of hoses, and I've sold a lot of hoses. This is by far the best one. Let me tell you why, okay? This hose right here, okay, the HydroSteel hose, you can't kink it, you can't cut it, and you can't crush it. I'm trying to tie a knot in this. I can't do it, okay? Normally when you kink a hose, it's like this, right? That hose I can't kink. If I take a standard rubber hose, look at the difference right there. Really, really easy. So the water flow in your rubber hose is gonna stop. Not to mention the fact the mildew, the way that these get brittle, the way these get hard. This is just a better hose all the way around. Yeah. Now, you were kind of talking about how this particular hose has 3 different layers to it, okay?
Right.
There on the inside of this hose, there is an inner rubber layer, and that's where the water's actually going through. Then around that, take a look at this animation. We've got 304, now that's the internal, right? Then we've got 304 stainless steel that is wound around it like that. And then they went ahead and put a very high abrasion fabric on the outside of this, and then this amazing handle. And let me show you something. This right here, I know it's a silly thing. This was a game changer for me right here. Because as I'm getting older, Bobby, I find that my grip isn't what it used to be. And especially when it comes to like trying to get things on and off of the faucet. Well, first of all, most hoses are slippery anyway. Most hoses are slippery. But look at the size of the barrel on the end of this. So this isn't gonna come off, and it's gonna give you tons and tons of torque when you're trying to put this on there. This hose is rated for 500 pounds of pressure, 500 PSI. Your house, at best, your house is putting out 60, okay? Wow. So this is almost 10 times the pressure. Now, what we're seeing right here, notice the way that it's gliding through that tree, the way it's going around the furniture. Right. So we used to sell a steel hose here, okay? And I asked them, why did we put fabric on the outside of this? 2 things. One, don't want it to get hot in the sun. If you leave it sitting in the sun, you don't want it to get hot. That's a good point, because in Florida, it burns right through these other hoses. No, it does. But you know what was a better point? When they told me this part. Right. The fact that if you, and I've had this happen, if you have a metal hose and you drag it in and it hits your lawn furniture, it hits the side of your house, it will scratch, it will chip your house, it will take the paint off. This doesn't. But here's what's really cool about this, and I want to show you one of the great examples here, okay? Watch this. If I take this saw, right? Oh my goodness. And I go at this rubber hose. Oh no, I'm a trained professional, don't worry. Watch this. I'm gonna go. So funny. I think we know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go after the rubber hose here, and in just a couple of strokes, I have demolished the hose. There's a hole inside of this. This is gonna leak, okay? Watch what happens though, and by the way, every season I'm buying a new hose for that reason. Not that I'm sawing on it, but I'm somehow cutting it. Absolutely. Okay. You're gonna no. watch this.
No.
No, but watch. You hear that? So I got through the fabric, and actually, it didn't. You can't even see it.
Oh, it didn't even go through the fabric.
Didn't even go through the fabric, and the metal on this inside is completely intact. So this hose is not going to rust. Now,
wow.
But let's look at something really practical. Guys, I'm gonna step over this way for a second. I've got two scales over here next to me. I want everybody to take a look at this. So this right here is, I think, Mike, is this 100 feet? Is this 100 feet on here?
The green one?
Okay, so we've got 100 feet of a rubber garden hose, just like the one I just cut. And this is 100 feet of the HydroSteel that you're buying right now, plus you get 2 nozzles with ours, and the 2 nozzles are in here. I want you to look at the weight difference right here. This is a 9-pound, almost 9-pound, I think it's 8-pound difference between one and the other right here. This one is same length of hose, 8 pounds heavier than the HydroSteel with the 2 nozzles.
That means even for us, easier to maneuver as well, too.
When you're dragging a 100-foot hose around in your backyard, you know, you're thinking like, oh, when you're just standing there using it, it doesn't seem like much until you got to start reeling it in. And when you start reeling that thing in, you're like, oh my gosh. You know what I mean? The back is starting to kill you. That's not going to happen with this one. But I'll do you one better. Let's go back behind the table here. Or let's watch this for a second. Watch this right here. She's reeling this up. There's that fabric again doing its thing. It's not scratching the furniture. It gives it like almost a lower friction coefficient so that it will go through things. It'll go around things. So it's going to be a lot easier for you to handle while you're using it. Now, you are getting 2 spray nozzles with this, okay? You're getting the one twisty nozzle like a fireman's nozzle, okay? And they're both right down here in the front. And then you're also getting this nozzle right here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different positions on it. You know, so you've got everything from spray to center.
You buy these separately a lot of times.
Normally you do.
Yeah, because I know in hoses we've had in the past you had to buy it separately.
Yeah.
Okay, can I get an update, Pat, on which sizes or... Okay, the 50-foot... Oh my gosh, okay, there's 120 left in the 50-foot that is now only $39.95, which is ridiculous.
Right.
And then the 75-foot, $600.
That's crazy.
That's crazy too.
Well, here's the thing, Bobby. I always tell people, buy the longest hose that you can. And here's why. Because you can take a long hose and make it shorter.
Right,
just
you'll
by
never
not
have
using
wished it was
you
shorter.
You can't take a short hose and make it longer, okay? So, I mean, especially with this pricing, it only makes sense to do that. Now, let me show you something else really cool about this. Because I showed you that this hose is lighter than a traditional rubber hose, right? But I want you to look at this right here. This is 50 feet of hose in a regular bucket. No, and this is why this is so cool. Like when I used to live in an apartment, right? I couldn't have a hose. Where am I keeping it? You know what? I didn't have anywhere to keep my hose. I had a car wash station. I didn't have a hose. Okay. Now, if you live in an apartment, a condo, if you have an RV or a boat, 50 feet of hose in this bucket right here. I'll go you one better. In fact, take a look in front of our table down there. We've got 2 hose reels and we've got a flower pot sitting down there. Okay. Now, each one of those hose reels has 100 feet of hose on it. Which one of those looks
mess the green one is.
And it's barely...
It looks very familiar because that's what we have at home.
Well, so here's the thing though. Those hoses get memory over time. So the rubber hoses. So every time you take it out, that hose just wants to keep winding around. You know what I mean?
What is that about?
It's the rubber. The rubber starts to degrade. It starts to get old. When you have your HydroSteel hose, that is never going to happen. It's neat. I could probably put another 100 on the HydroSteel reel right there. Now, the flower pot that's down there, that has 75 feet of hose in it. And I always like to show the flower pot because I want people that live in condos and maybe you've got a townhouse. Like I used to live in one and we had an HOA and it was like verboten to put out a hose. Like you could have no hose reel. They don't want to see anything. You know, they want you to pretend you never got to use a hose, all right? With that flower pot, you could get away with it. You could stack it in, but it's 75 feet. Think about that for a second.
That's
75 feet. Isn't that nuts?
Free shipping.
Say what now?
My car doesn't even have it on it. It's free shipping and handling. It's like, yes! We're over the moon whenever we see free shipping and handling. Okay, so the lowest price we've offered ever on these, hands down. I'm not sure, do you have any more shows with us today?
No, this is it.
Okay, this is it. We're about ready to say complete goodbye to the 50, and right behind it is going to be the 100-foot hose. And listen, if we have gardeners out there, you have a gardening business, you should be flying to the phones to grab this, right?
Absolutely.
Particularly again in the 100 and the 125 foot, because those, first of all, I mean, they're all great buys, but to pay $79.95, and this is, wow!
That's 50. Okay, that's the reaction right there.
I can hold this with one finger.
That's 50 feet of hose, and she's just picking that up like that. If I gave you a reel of rubber hose, I mean,
can you see it?
It's an 8-pound difference between the rubber hose and our hose. Okay, and that's on the 100-foot length.
With the nozzles.
With the nozzles already in there. And I'm going to go back to what I said at the beginning of this presentation. Okay, and I know it's a silly little thing. When you get these home and you have these on the ends of these, you are going to be like, my gosh, this is my favorite hose ever, because you've got that grip on there to tighten on the nozzles, to tighten onto your hose bib, all those things. This is going to make such a huge difference.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And you're getting both of them today.
You get 2 nozzles.
Plus the hose.
Right.
We just marked these down again right before the show. And honestly, this is the first time I've aired them this season.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't think this has been
once
on
before.
Yeah, I think I was going to say, I don't think this has only been on the air like one other time. Okay, and you can see close to 300 spoken for already. I hope you're getting yours. Listen, you know, there's some things you might not need. Everybody, if you have a home,
everybody needs a hose.
And even if you're in a condo, whatever, you need to have a hose. Like you said, whether it's for your lawn furniture, whether it's your car, whatever the case may be.
Well, and I'll tell you something too. What makes this hose unique is what you're seeing right here. That inner tube that goes through this, that the water runs through, but then the windings with the 304 stainless steel. And I want you to think about something, Bobby. I don't know if you've ever had this happen. It happened to me one time.
What?
On my washer dryer, we had a hose explode. Okay. Have you ever had that happen?
Yeah, we had that happen a few years ago.
It's a nightmare. The plumber came, and the first thing he said was, put a metal hose on there because it won't burst, because it can handle whatever pressure. And I want you to think about something. This hose right here, remember what I said? 500-pound rating. So in the wintertime, you don't have to bring this in. You can leave it out there. Even if there's water in this, it's not going to burst because it can hold up to 500 PSI. Now, your house, maybe, if you're lucky and you've got good water pressure, you're kicking out 60 PSI, okay? Huge, huge differences. So think about this. It's stronger, it's lighter, it's easier to work with, it's more compact.
Yeah.
And, oh, did I mention, it's cheaper today.
It's cheaper today.
It's cheaper today.
And it has free shipping and handling. Okay, and again, so before we have only about a minute left, can you go over the difference again? I mean, first of all, you can visually see the difference, but the way this is made, because it's 3 different layers. 3 different
layers inside it. Well, I mean, your regular garden hose, watch this, okay? If I take this hose, look how easy it is for me to just do that and kink it.
And then you'll have absolutely no flow.
Oh, no flow whatsoever. But if I take the HydroSteel, and I want you to see this, I am squeezing. You can see my hands turning color. I'm squeezing as hard as I can on this. This will not kink. You can't kink it, you can't cut it. Oh, and I left out one thing, you can't crush it, okay? I have driven over mine.
I was going to say with the car,
Listen, I am the guy. Let me tell you something. There's a way to break something, I will find it. Kelly will tell you. My wife, Kelly, she will tell you. I'm like a bull in a china shop. That's what she says to me all the time. I'm the guy who can break anything. I can't hurt this hose.
This is loo-proof.
It's loo-proof.
Loo-proof.
That's right.
Yeah.
I took the saw to it.
You took the saw.
Couldn't cut it. Yeah, no.
Amazing, amazing.
Last hose you're ever going to buy.
We're going to hit about 500 gone already. So are we gone on the 50 already, Pat? I couldn't hear you. Okay, so the 50 is completely sold out. We have the 75 that's now marked at only $59.95. The 100, we only have, how many left in the 100? I think it was in the hundreds. Oh, so the 75 was the one that was the next most limited, was the 75. And we have about 300 of that one.
Not surprised.
So that's all. We have the 75, the 100, and the 125. Yes, we are shipping all of them to you for free. You have the 30-day return policy. Think about this, you know, again, for all of us, we're loving that HSN card today if you're trying to add it up. Okay, so guess what? Water will still flow out of this hose like that.
Absolutely. Not a problem with this hose. Last hose you're ever going to buy.
I love it, Lou.
Yeah,
man. Very impressive.
Chad's got my favorite lights coming up next.
He does?
We have them in our backyard.
Woo, they're just back in stock. So Lou's going to be back in our next hour.
Yes.
00896. All right, so we have some amazing beauty items. Listen, we have 50% off some incredible hair items at our website, so definitely check all of that out as well. We want to take care of you clearly from head to toe, even though today's all about lawn and garden. Well, Okay, I am excited. Okay, the VIP card. So let me remind you about this once more, because this is for today and today only. And if you're like me, I put things in my cart. I know we all do this, right? And I wait for the days when we have the special promotions. That is today. HSN card every time. So it's not use it one time and you're done. Every time you put $99 in your cart, you use code 186379. We put $20 right back into your pocket. All right. Okay.